Okay, I think, nobody likes to lose. In particular, that group of people in that locker room, right? Especially when you work as hard as they do, when you're loyal to each other, right? And you commit to each other and you give your very best effort in a lot of ways. There's a lot of opportunities out there where our group could have folded their cards today, but they kept swinging. Can't compliment the effort, the physicality, the competitive spirit, right? The togetherness. I think we need to execute a little bit better and we need to coach a little bit better. Okay, in particular myself today, I think I can do better for our team, for our players. But I do think although we lost the game, I think we grew up a little bit today, in my opinion. Just relative to actually flipping the switch and competing, right? When you combine offense and defense and special teams today, we didn't do enough to win, right? We gave up a few cheap ones. We left points out there on offense. In the kicking game, I think probably we didn't do anything that changed the game today. A lot of credit to Tennessee. But I think when we go back and watch the film, there's going to be 12 to 15 plays where Florida beats Florida tonight. And I think when you think about that, you think about coaching, right? And that's my responsibility. I love that group in that locker room, right? I really do. I love the competitive spirit that they have, right? And you know what they did? They did what we asked them to do today. They went on the road. We brought 70 here today, and we put the ball down, and they competed. Did we play perfect? No. We didn't do enough to win. So, no moral victories. No moral victories. So, back to work. What questions do we have?
Jump in, guys. I'll start. Billy, since you were talking about your mistakes, let's talk about the unsportsmanlike conduct. What were you unhappy about? What happened there?
I lost my poise. I didn't represent our team. I didn't represent the University of Florida the right way. I need to do better, and I apologize for that.
What were you upset about?
The amount of time that they spent on the review. But, we've got a great, unbelievable crew. They called a great game. They let the players play. I can't tell you how impressed I am with John McDade and his team. I mean, phenomenal, class act. I need to keep my composure and represent our team better.
Go ahead. Yeah, jump in, guys.
When you speak about that you need to coach better, what particular area are you most concerned with?
Well, I just think that when we go back and evaluate all the situations in the game, I think we can help the players. And this is a team game, right? I mean, it's offense, defense, and special teams. There's strategy involved relative to the clock, relative to down and distance, relative to the field zones. And I think we're going to see some areas where we could have done a better job for the players, right? And that's all I'm saying. I think that the collective effort of our team today wasn't good enough to get it done.
Accounting for Hooker today, it seemed like he got a lot of scrambles and so forth and everything. Were there any adjustments you guys could have made there and so forth, or what were your thoughts about just kind of the defensive effort overall?
Yeah, good player. Not only he's just a good player, and I think one of the things that makes him really unique is his ability to rush the ball and his ability to scramble, extend, and escape. We had him dead to right a bunch tonight, and guy's a good player. And I think that we had our opportunities.
Billy, can you address that drive before half? I mean, you guys are close to flipping the field with a minute and a half left, and it turns into 7 in a way.
No, I think that's one of the areas I feel like I could help the players a little bit. it's 3rd and 10. We're trying to get it back on a short field. I mean, we got the guy dead to rights. I mean, we're in a great call, and he escapes a little bit, makes a great play. And then we gave up a big play there on the perimeter. But, I think that ultimately when we look back at it, that's an area where we can help the players. I can help the players. But there's no question when you think about the end of the second and the first part of the third, there was a momentum swing there. We had control of the game, and we let it slip away right there.
Billy, Anthony's performance, 515 yards of total offense, and just kind of showed what he could do. How?
Yeah, no, I think, Anthony Richardson is a phenomenal young man, right? I mean, he takes so much pride in his role on the team, right? He works. He's humble. He cares. And he competed today, right? He flipped the switch, and he competed in the game, right? And, I know how hard the young man works. I watch him every day. But he showed who he is today, right? And I think when you go through a couple rough outings and then you go play on the road against a really good team, he responded today, right? Physically, but more importantly, he responded as a teammate. He responded with character. He stayed focused on improvement, right? And I think that showed up today.
What about just the way he moved within the pocket and just kept his composure? I mean, how much work does it take to get to that point?
Well, I mean, this guy, that's what he is, right? He's a product of his work, right? We started this process, back in the off season, every day, between the beginning until today, and I think he's a product of his work. He showed, all the time that he's invested in trying to be the best for his team, right? And I think that's what showed up today.
What can you say about Ventrell Miller just being injured and the way he was able to kind of gut through it today and make some really good plays as well?
Yeah, Ventrell Miller is as good a human being as I've been around. I mean, he's a really good football player, but Ventrell Miller's he's a leader. He's a example setter. He's a great communicator. I mean, he's one of the best I've ever been around when it comes to, just his ability to influence other people in a positive way. Consistency, right? Ventrell Miller, couldn't be more proud of him.
Time for just a few more
Billy,
guys.
the defense had some pretty glaring breakdowns and some coverages and
Mm-hmm.
some things like that. What would you say about just the overall play of the unit?
Well, I think when we evaluate the tape, like I mentioned earlier, there's going to be things we can do better, right, in all three areas of our team. Players, coaches, in-game decision-making, fundamentals, communication. I mean, and that's where we're at. That's exactly where we're at as a football team, right? So we need more repetitions, and we need to stay the course. I'm confident, in our process, and I'm confident in this group and their attitude towards the work, and I know they'll respond the right way.
Billy, on that note, you said there's no moral victories. How do you feel like the guys will respond to this and just handling a game that came down to the wire like this?
We're going to do what they've been doing, right? We're going to show up. They're loyal to each other. They want to do their very best for their teammates. And I think that their attitude, they haven't flinched, I mean, if there's one thing this group does is they respond to adversity. I think we got to help them do the technical things better, right? Our football team needs to do the simple things better, right? I think we know what winning football looks like. We've got to collective effort of our offense, defense, and special teams. We got to do things better to position our team to have success and win, right? So, and we're going to do our very best for them to help them do that.
You coached a fairly aggressive game today. I'm just curious about going for it in fourth. And did you feel like that was necessary given Tennessee's offense, or just your ability to, your thoughts on going for it on fourth down for as much as you did?
No, I think it was required given the matchups and the dynamics in the game, you know, and for the most part it paid off.
How did you feel about the
Last question, guys.
How did you feel about the communication in this game? That's been something you've talked about, and just based on what you observed, how did you feel like that either improved or where did it go today?
You're talking about the dealing with the crowd noise, or what?
Just your defense's ability to communicate. You talked about that last week as something that was not up to par, and what did you feel like it looked like today based on your observations?
You know, I'll know more whenever we watch the film and we really break it down, get very specific. It's probably a better question for Monday or Wednesday. I think it's a good question, but I don't know that now I'm prepared to answer that question.
Billy, have you gone for fourth
One last
down
question.
six times in a game? That was what I was trying to ask.
I don't know.
A lot.
Yeah, no, I think, you know, I just believe in it, right? I think we left some points out there a little bit today, but it also paid dividends for us today, right? So, you know, we knew we were going to have to score. You know, I mean, I think the history is the best indicator of the future. I think that group had scored 30 points, I don't know, 8 or 9 times games in a row or something like that. So, you know, we learned some things today, you know, and, you know, we're big into we believe in the research that goes into it, headed into the game, you know, relative to the matchup and all the different dynamics. And, you know, you prepare your team to do it, and they go do it. They execute. When we don't get it, the defense responds. And, you know, I think overall the research will support it.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right,
Thanks,
guys. Thank you all.